Hey guys, welcome back to another What If. This is What If Deku had a dragon quirk. Yet again, sorry about making the episode shorter, it's just a new thing I'm doing. And sorry about this single episode. Yesterday, I was very tired. I still am tired because I've got a lot of big exams coming up, but literally 1 week left and then I'm free and hopefully I can post lots of videos for you amazing watchers out there because oh my god, all your comments and all that, it's just absolutely fantastic, and it warms my heart every single day. Um, well, every single time I do a video like this. So we're gonna jump right into it. First of all, Tsuyu is like calm down, Deku, because Deku is panicking right now. Because usually in the anime he doesn't figure this out, but he figures it out straight away because he's a lot more closer to um All Might this time because he's been training with him and they've been dueling and he's he had in his back of his head that he knew that he damaged All Might, so he thinks, oh god, did they are they're coming after All Might, they must know about his weak spot. And Deku's a lot more screwed on. Well, he was until now. He's panicking. And Suyu's like, hey, calm down, Deku. You're smart. Let's think this through. So, have you got any ideas for the situation? And then Deku remembers he's got a lightning quirk, but then he remembers, oh god, water and lightning won't quite work, and he might power himself out, which isn't that good. So what he decides to do is ask Suyu to look for a generator on the boat or some sort of fuel engine on the boat, because if he could take the potential energy from there and absorb it, he could use that to overrun himself, and use it to pump all that energy into the water to put electricity into the water. Because theoretically, he could do that due to him being able to store energy within his body that naturally stores up from movement a lot more than usual people do. So he's able to somewhat control electricity by absorbing it and then letting it out in his body. But there's a chance he could overburn himself, which would leave him in a rough situation. But he realizes the situation he's already in is pretty dire. So they realize that the boat somewhat has an energy source to power uh, the boat. Well, because it's a real boat that's been plopped in there, they realize that there's a generator in the boat. So they turn on the generator, which creates a loud noise. But Deku starts absorbing the noise energy, the sound energy, because that is a thing in science. I didn't know if you know that. So it instantly gets suppressed, and then he starts absorbing the energy the generator's creating. And because it's UA, they brought a high-end yacht, so it's creating lots of energy. And that's when Deku is struggling to contain the energy, so it starts creating blue lightning that originates from where his hands are, and it creates electric claws. Whereas, first of all, the electricity makes his hands close together, so like make closed fists, and then like where Wolverine's claws come from, lightning claws are starting to form there, and on top of that, lightning starting to create spark up down his arm, and then it separates to his whole body, and it's focused on his shoulder blades as well. There's a focused sparks there, like something's trying to form there, the same as his knuckles, of course. And that's when Deku's eyes, he shuts them and he opens them again, and they've gone pure lightning blue, a bit like how you can see in the middle image, but like a pure lightning blue. And Deku's like, okay, I think I've absorbed all the power, but I can't move. Don't worry, all the electricity is stored and controlled by me, so you can pick me up, but I want you to drop me into the water. Do you think you can do that? So Suyu wraps him around her tongue and chucks him into the water, and Deku whispers to her when he's holding her, make sure you don't touch the water at all and stay on the boat. That is when the villains destroy the boat and it starts to sink, but Suyu stays on the sinking boat even though it's going down quicker than the Titanic. Deku is then thrown into the water, and he says, "Overcharged." This is when he lets out all the energy that he's been storing up from the generator and from the sound energy that the generator produced, and it separates around the whole pool and electrocutes every single one of the people that are in the pool. They try to climb out, but of course the electricity is causing muscle spasms within them, so they can't move. But due to them having water-type quirks, they don't drown. Of course, they just get electrocuted to the point where they cannot battle anymore, and they're all kind of knocked out, but they're floating, so they're not dying. They're just knocked out. That's when Deku's like, "Okay, Suyu, it's safe to come into the water," and she drops into the water because all the energy has been dispersed around. And Deku is like, "Okay, I no longer have that boost that I had, but I think I still have enough to go into 10 times for 1 minute. Even though my body's damaged, I will be pushing myself to a new limit, but hopefully I can do it." It's not trusted though, so if we really do get into a predicament, we'll have to use it, but I really don't want to. Suyu says, "Okay, Deku," and then they start walking to the center of where they were to see whether they can meet up with the rest of the UA students. Sorry, I was just taking a quick drink. Once they get there, they see that Aizawa is in deep trouble, and Deku's hero instincts kick in again. He realizes that if he does nothing, no one else will. So he runs in immediately and tries to take on the Nomu. His punches do nothing against it, yet he's still punching. Luckily, the electricity that's being released from his punches, um, luckily the electricity that's being released from his punches from absolute rage is causing the Nomu damage because it has no quirk to defend against it. But he is using 10%. He is using 10 times, and he is using electricity, which is completely draining his supplies. He's about a minute in before Deku is completely wasted in stamina wise. But he has got around to the Nomu. He's frying it to a crisp, but he's not destroying it as the Nomu keeps on regenerating on him. Then the Nomu hits him to the side, finally gaining control as Deku gets weakened. Deku's body bounces against the rubble until he gets hit into the rubble. The rubble, the rubble collapses around him. Aizawa stares with fear in his eyes, fear of Deku's death. Suyu then calls for Deku as Uraka watches the situation. A tear falls down her eye as Deku is the nicest person to her. She runs over, trying to lift over the rocks, but the Nomu grabs her and then flings her to the side. This doesn't. Luckily, Bakugo runs in and captures her, but that's when he realizes Deku's been smashed. Has been smashed into the mountainous terrain. Sorry. Bakugo, in pure anger, charges towards the Nomu, even though it's no possibility he's going to win. That's when the portal guy steps in, and Bakugo immediately sees Shigaraki's hand. Luckily, he reacts in enough time, but he's still stood there raging. Shigaraki is getting ready for a speech. Shigaraki begins his speech. I don't really know what I did there. Sorry about that. "You damn heroes, this whole damn society. You know what I find it? A joke. That kid today, he just wasted his life trying to be a hero, trying to copy the symbol of peace. And you know what? I'm gonna kill the symbol of peace today, just like I killed that kid." As soon as he stopped laughing, the rubble starts to rumble with pure earthquake. A thunder strikes the rubble as Deku comes out. His eyes are full of lightning like before. This time the energy from his fist is more defined like claws. Wings are sprouted from his back. These wings are made out of electricity. But Deku's eyes, his pupils are gone. He looks entirely unconscious. But he looks entirely unconscious, and all his movements look heavy. Blood is dripping down from his head as he charges towards the Nomu. He hits the Nomu, frying it up. Deku releases that much electricity that the Nomu's completely fried before it can regenerate again, causing it to be knocked out for a solid 5 minutes, as its cells were fried that much that it cannot regenerate its cells quick enough. So it was fully taken out for the time being. Then he charges at Shigaraki before the portal guy steps in, opening up a portal halfway across UA, halfway across the USJ. Deku then falls through that portal and realizes he's halfway across the UA. Then he gets struck by what feels like body strain, and he gets knocked out, falling down from the sky. Luckily, he falls into the pool again, where he falls into the pool again where the knocked out villains were. Suyu sees this and starts running towards Deku, and jumps into the water, saving him before he has time to drown, as Deku's completely destroyed body is there. It looks like his scales have been burnt off. They're still there, but fried. Sorry, not burnt. It looks like his scales have been burnt, as his whole body is there, fried to a crisp. Deku then groans, "I'm okay. Is everyone else okay?" That's when Suyu says, "Yes, and Ida's gone to get help." As soon as Suyu finishes that, he hears Uraka running over, in pure tears coming down her eyes. Uraka wants to hug Deku, but realizes that his body's that crisp that hugging him would be really bad for him because it'll hurt him. Uraka then screams, "Help is on the way," and as soon as he does that, a loud bang is heard at the main entrance of the UA hall. The USJ hall. "I am here. Now who's been messing with my students?" All Might says as he uses his immense speed to run towards Shigaraki. The portal guy does react quickly though, as the Nomu steps up, blocking All Might's punch. The portal guy, reacting quickly, gets Shigaraki out of there immediately as the Nomu tries to put up a fight. But due to Deku burning it to a crisp, it's still not at full power, so All Might manages to knock it out within a couple of punches. It takes around 30, which is a lot compared to the 300. Deku realizes he could never... Deku, in his head, is thinking about that power and realizes that maybe he could reach it one day, but right now his body can't seem to control the electricity. But he realizes that what happened was, due to the adrenaline, his self-limiter on his quirk went, which caused him to go berserk. This is when he finds out he's unlocked a new form, or move I guess you could call it. This new form and slash move is called Berserk. What it does, it pushes his body to the limit, as previously mentioned, but it comes back with some serious side effects. The USJ incident is over. This will lead on to the sports festival, but there's a little bit of filler, which I will do next episode because, this is... I just want to thank you guys for watching. Absolutely fantastic. I rate you. You're a great audience. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Helps me out a bunch. If you're not, if you're old, like the video. Helps me out a bunch. I realise that the common watchers do like all my videos, which boosts them and gets them views, which is absolutely fantastic. Because of course, I'm trying to grow a new channel here. It's not going great, but I am trying my best, and all your help is absolutely fantastic. As for the war of going first, may it still continue. May the odds be in your favour. You know all that. Anyway, I do want to thank you guys for all watching. Just wrap up this video. Um, I think this will be the last one for today. It depends whether I get one done in the morning or later on at night, which I probably won't. I'm very busy, so I apologize for that. Anyway, thank you. Sorry for waffling, and goodbye.